I don't even think if he, okay. I don't even know if he gets into the conversation of greatest quarterbacks just getting to the Super Bowl. He would seem like, to me, he would need to win the Super Bowl rather than to just get to the Super Bowl, right? I mean, he would have to win it to even have the conversation. So when I look at it, you said 13 years ago. Erase that, right? So 13 years ago, there was a Brady, there was a Manning, and a host of Big Ben and all these Phillip Rivers and all those type of guys. You get rid of that. So over the last 13 years, he's more in line with Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, a couple other, Matthew Stafford. He's in line with those guys because when you start talking about the great ones, you start talking about Montana, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Even though Peyton Manning's Denver Super Bowl is, he was a participant on the team with a uniform. Okay, the defense won the game. We all know that, but he still got the ring.
You did have that out of order, though. Shouldn't you have started with Tom Brady?
Well, whatever. Skip the names.
I'm not putting third on the list.
Oh, God, stop. It's not about the list. When you start to think about it, Aaron Rodgers has to win the Super Bowl to get into
what conversation?
Just a conversation, because he has 4 regular season MVPs. Okay, he has 4 regular season MVPs. That ain't chopped liver. Okay, that means if he gets to a Super Bowl again, he will have been to 6 championship games. 5 of them, I believe, was in the NFC, and 4 of them, and then 1 more would be in the AFC now. So that's a lot. It's not a lot of quarterbacks that have done those things. The great Tom Brady's over here. That's why I say he's closer to the guys right now in terms of where they're at than he can't catch Tom Brady. He ain't gonna catch Patrick Mahomes. So when you start to look at it, would I take him at the quarterback? Like he said, he's had a great career. He's one of the most talented QBs of throwing the football that's ever played the game. I'd take him over anybody except Patrick Mahomes in the National Football League right now. I will take Aaron Rodgers over everybody. Other than Patrick Mahomes, and I'll take him over Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson. I can go on and on and on. Matthew Stafford.
How you take him over Joe Burrow, but go ahead.
I'll take him over Joe Burrow in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even blink. I wouldn't even blink.
And you lose.
At all. Well, you may think I would lose.
He's 40. Well,
but the dude, his age, though, he's still, when he was healthy 2 years ago, he was putting that ball where it needed to be put.
Look, I think it's going to take more than an appearance in the Super Bowl. It will take a hell of a lot more than a win in the Super Bowl.
But if he gets a win, you could at least
Nope, you cannot. Look, Kurt is absolutely right. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He is a top 10 all-time quarterback without question. And that is saying a huge thing in a league that has seen as many quarterbacks as the NFL has over all of these decades. He is obviously a surefire Hall of Famer, and he will be one of the great Hall of Famers. He is not even in the conversation for GOAT, and I don't see any way at age 40 he gets into that in any way whatsoever. Tom Brady is the GOAT. There's just no doubt about it. 7 Super Bowl rings.
Well, he's
Aaron
not going to
Rodgers
pass Tom.
Has won. Okay, but so great.
But if you put in the conversation, though, Rachel, if you're having a conversation about greatest, if you're having a conversation about greatest,
he's not in the top 3. He won 4 MVPs. Peyton Manning won 5.
Okay,
we talk about Super Bowls.
But go ahead.
Joe Montana, 4 Super Bowls.
It's
not just Tom Brady. It's a lot of people behind him. Maybe you put Johnny Unitas in there.
Well, I wasn't around then.
Well, but you look at the stats and the number of Super Bowl wins.
I understand.
Right? He was playing against the competition of his day, and he had a better track record than Aaron Rodgers does. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old and playing with the New York Jets. Okay? I do not think he is winning 5 Super Bowls in the next 5 years.
But you're not...
So
okay.
He's
saying
not
a conversation about the greatest isn't saying he's the GOAT. It's just do you have you have to push Tom. He'll never catch Tom Brady.
Okay, so
push Tom aside.
That just means there's no conversation.
No, that's not true. It's not true because you could always have a barbershop conversation all day long.
Yeah, but that extends to Brady and Montana, no?
No, because Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't even get to him. You're
and then some people would argue with you, depending on the region. Peyton Manning. They just would.
Okay, so great. You're making my
They
point
just
for me.
would.
100% Patrick Mahomes is on that list ahead of him. So you've got Tom Brady, who I think is sort of unquestioned.
Yeah, he over there. He in the blimp somewhere flying around.
There is no conversation, by the way, on this one. You've got Joe Montana, and there's some people who will always love Joe Montana, and to them, he's their GOAT, right?
There's no question.
Maybe some people will say Peyton Manning's next. Maybe some people will say Patrick Mahomes. Maybe some people will say Johnny Unitas. None of those names are Aaron Rodgers' names.
But when you start having a conversation, and you look at a Peyton Manning, for instance, Peyton Manning's got 5 MVPs. You know, 4 and 5 ain't far apart.
I get it.
Peyton Manning's got 2.
By the way,
Peyton Manning's got 2 Super Bowls. I already done told you, Peyton Manning was chilling in the last Super Bowl that he won.
To me, Peyton Manning is not going to be the GOAT ever either.
No, not the GOAT, but there's a conversation that needs to be had. It's like basketball, okay? You can't start talking basketball great basketball without Kareem. You cannot.
I agree, but that's an actual conversation.
Skip Bayless would jump over the table and attack me if I didn't include Michael Jordan.
Actual conversation, right? Kareem and MJ are a lot closer than Tom Brady and everyone else.
Well, Patrick Mahomes is right there with Tom. I'm just sorry. As much as I love Tommy, he's right there just because of how he's doing it.
Sure. And by the way, he could get there at some point.
And on top of how.
But Aaron Rodgers is not going to leapfrog him.
If Aaron, I don't know no way he's going to leapfrog him. But he gets in the conversation, especially if he wins in New York, Rachel. You're in the media.
I think
you worked in the media your entire adult life.
I have.
He wins in New York. New York has never, since Joe Montana, that was like Super Bowl 3.
No, there will be ticker tape parades.
Oh, God, yes.
Everything. But then that is a question of where does he rank in the top 10? That, to me, is the conversation with Aaron Rodgers. And you could put him as high as, 3 or 4, or as low as 7 or 8.
I probably personally would drop him. If he wins another one, I probably would drop him in the 4 or 5 spot.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not GOAT level.
I'm not saying he's going to pass Tom Brady. It's not going to happen.
That's enough. All right, so it's my turn. I'm going to tell you why Aaron Rodgers, and you're a victim of this, he's the most overhyped quarterback in the history of this league. Aaron Rodgers is 11-10 in playoff games. 11-10, and since that long ago, far away Super Bowl, he's 7-9 in the postseason. If you look hard at the ones that he won, they got great breaks in those games because Joe Webb started at quarterback for the Vikings. Do you remember Joe Webb? He was a receiver. It's like we're going to play the Jets, and they're starting Keyshawn at quarterback? Really?
You'd have won, though.
Oh, okay. Would you? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Of course you would.
Aaron Rodgers got to beat Kirk Cousins. He got a great break at home because Dez caught it in that game. Dez caught it. Well, I'm just telling you, he got a bunch of great breaks. Remember when Odell took the receivers to South Beach to get ready for a game up on the frozen?
It has nothing to do with them.
That's how many breaks he got. Against my Cowboys, remember the 2 field goals that Mason crossbar?
That's his job.
55 and 51 yards.
Adam Vinatieri kicked field goals for Tom Brady.
I didn't think either one of them had a chance, and they got there. The point is, now we look at the losses that he has suffered, and they're horrendous because the reason he's no longer the Packer quarterback, the reason they finally said that is enough, more trouble than worth is, I'll just go back, there are a bunch of them because we got 9 of them here, but just go back to the last 4 in Green Bay. Okay. He went to San Francisco when they were pretty good, and they got run off the field, and he had a QBR of 23. He was horrible in that game. Then they had the 1 seed, and he lost to Brady at home when they had it, remember, 1st and goal at the 8, late in the game, and he went incomplete, and his young head coach said, I've seen enough. We're going to take a field goal here that's going to cut it to only 5.
That's a coach's mistake.
Yeah, okay, well, that was crazy. And then the next year, they're the 1 seed again, and they lose a divisional round game at home to Jimmy G and the 49ers. And then I'm throwing this in as a playoff game. They played Detroit at home to get into the playoffs in his last hurrah season in Green Bay, and he lost that game and had a QBR of 41. He was pretty terrible on that Sunday night game that they played. So he just kept losing and losing playoff games. And I'm saying, well, wait a second. The 1 Super Bowl he won, that they went on this road run where they were the last seed. They were the bottom seed, and nobody expected anything of them. And out of the blue, they caught fire because they barely beat Michael Vick at Philadelphia. Then they romped Matt Ryan and company at Atlanta. Then they barely survived Jay Cutler. Remember, he wound up on the exercise bike in the second half. And Aaron barely outplayed the immortal Caleb Haney in the second half of that playoff game at Soldier Field when they were the 1 seed to get to the Super Bowl that they did win. And he was pretty good in that Super Bowl. And our man Greg Jennings hit them with the post route, and Aaron was the MVP. But it was 13 years ago, and we're still talking about him like he's Tom Brady.
He's still playing.
A lot of people, I know, but a lot of people.
And no one is talking about him like he's Tom Brady.
But I think he gets overhyped because he's so stylish with the way he throws the ball. It looks great. It's pleasing to the eye. Yeah. And he is a great thrower of the football. It's beautiful to watch.
He's one of the best to ever do it throwing the football, Skip.
Yeah, but
he's got 4 MVPs.
Yeah, but
I don't give a damn. He got back-to-back MVPs.
He's 11 and 10 in the playoffs.
I understand he's 11 and 10. Can you contribute some of those losses to him? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. This is a rebirth for him to go to New York, and if he wins, and they go to the Super Bowl, which I don't have them going, but if he does, then it's a different conversation. It's just, that's the reality of it.
It's not a GOAT conversation.
No, it's not a GOAT. When did we get to the point in sports where being in the top 10 ever isn't good enough? Right? You don't have to be the best that has ever played the game to be worth something.
Well, that's y'all fault in the media. I was still playing when y'all joined the media. Y'all the ones that trumped this up.
You're in the media too, my friend.
No, I'm an ex-player that works in the media.
You were in the media while you were playing. You were the most media-friendly person I've covered.
If you think about it, though, this dude has done some things that a whole lot of quarterbacks that come before him didn't do, and there's a whole lot of them coming after him will not be able to do.
You're talking about the 4 MVPs.
That's huge.
Yeah, okay.
You cannot discount that. Yeah. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls. It'll never be matched again in our time. It just will not be. I don't think.
To your point.
I don't think Pete. That's a lot because Andy Reid's gotta. If that's the case, then Andy Reid's got to hang around for a long time, but they got to start stacking them up right now because Andy is not 25 years old coaching. So I don't know how much longer he's going to be around wanting to coach football, despite Patrick Mahomes being his quarterback. You know, he's getting up there in age, and Big Red, I'm sure, at some point wants a vacation.
He'll be around.
You know?
I don't think Andy Reid's getting off this ship anytime soon.
Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes, to catch Tom Brady, he needs another 4.
I'm not saying he's going to. I'm just saying he's way ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
That's why I said Aaron Rodgers is closer to Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and company than he is Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, even if he wins the championship.
All right. Up next, I need my Cowboy fix. We haven't talked about them in a while.
Good.
They're at it again. They're doing nothing. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.